What do you think? I mean, that's a lot of money for a young man who has not played a ton of baseball. We haven't seen him very long in the majors, but man, has he been electric just for the few short months we have seen him.
Unreal talent. I mean, all of us that went through and we thought we saw a lot of talent. This kid is unique. This kid is above the chain or on top of the chain of everybody. I mean, this kid is explosive. He's got power. He can hit for average. Great defense. Great instincts in the field. He has it all. He's a complete package, and he has to be if you extend him at this time, and with such a little experience. But at the same time, I'm extremely happy for this kid, and I'll give you reasons why, Jake. Because not everybody gets to understand where this kid comes from. Okay. And what goes on in the minds of all of us. I had to wait for arbitration. I was renewed. I didn't make any money my first 4 years. This kid has an opportunity to extend his future, secure his future and the future of his family at such an early age. I mean, he gets what I was looking for my entire career in the first stage of his contract. 200 millions. I didn't make 200 millions in the big leagues.
Right.
So for this kid, I'm extremely happy. Why? Because I know what the tendency is. You get a signing bonus, that melts in your hands right away. With all the issues that we have in the Dominican, living in a shack, first thing you want to do is, let me build a house for the family.
Yep.
Second of all, mom and dad, they need to help out in the house. They need to support those kids that are my brother, my sister, from sometimes 5, 6, like we were. And you have to pay for schools. You have to do so many things with that signing bonus. Right. And it's not enough. It's never enough. And then for this kid to secure the future for himself, the future for his family, and go out there and relax and just let the abilities he has take over. And please don't mess up. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Don't mess it up. Because this kid has all the tools, all the education he needs, and he's humble.
That's right.
And a lot of you don't understand. I got $6,500 to sign as a pro player. And I never saw the check. I signed it. The check went that way to the city, and I went that way to the academy. Right. Which is something a lot of you don't relate to. But in the Dominican, priorities are priorities. And I did not see 1 cent from my check because we lived in a shack and we needed to buy a new house. And that's why I'm so happy for this kid, because I know that a family, an entire family, is going to be better in the next 10 years, 15 years, and they're going to be living a nice life if they handle what they got the right way.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about these contracts and numbers every day, Jake, like it's a monopoly money. Great job by Pedro there to illustrate to me what it really means for a kid who's from the Dominican and all the responsibilities that he has. Sounds like, we don't know the details yet, but I mean, it could be as low as $210 and upwards of $400+ million. But it sounds like, though, there's room for both sides. I'm sure there's some opt-outs on both sides as well, that, you know, if Julio doesn't turn out to be as spectacular as we think he will be, the deal's not going to be worth get up to $450 million. But if he does, then he's going to be paid commensurate to what market value is right now. And look, when you put that kind of money in front of a kid who's 21, 22 years of age, you put that contract and say, here it is. I mean, not everybody can be Juan Soto and say, I'll pass, I'm going to wait.
Well, you know, Pedro's got an amazing story and for us all to think about and relate. And players come from, you know, I certainly didn't come from a third world country, but I come from a very, you know, lower middle class thing in Alabama. And that's the first thing you want to do. And to know that Julio and all the Dominican born players and the Johnny Cuetos, it was just beautiful knowing that this family had this up and coming story and knowing that's going to happen with Julio. But I think it's a great move for the Seattle Mariners. And and here's why, because if you look at the Aaron Judge situation, the Juan Soto situations, you let these kids grow, and these right here, Julio, one of the fastest players since Fernando Tatis to get to 20 homers and 20 steals. Like Pedro said, complete package of a baseball player. We know that. the Seattle Mariners must know that he's a good guy and he's a good person, because I think that, especially with some of the news and some of the long-term contracts and what's happened down in San Diego, you would think that all of that's going to be addressed before a contract like this happens. But to me, it solidifies that he's going to be in Seattle for probably his career. It takes all the pressure off him. Like you said, he gets to take care of his family, worry about playing baseball. Protection on both sides if he doesn't. It's lower if he does. There's $450 of ceiling. Congrats, Julio Rodríguez. Congrats to the Seattle Mariners and the fan base. This is big, big news.